pilots and ground crew and road warriors. Right, yeah, just put that down so it doesn't fall over. I've gone over to the Darkside. Now, who was expecting a Star Wars, something like an X-Wing fighter or something like that? But no, the reason why I said the Darkside is because I swore I would never get a car or a truck because I didn't like them. Seen them on YouTube videos and didn't really rock my world. It wasn't until I was at Beverly Westwoods where I thought, oh, that looks cool. So I got myself one. Right then, first thing I'll tell you is, if you're already subscribed, you'll know this. I fly quads, planes, helicopters and stuff. But I've never used an RC truck, right, ever. Right, so I don't know much about them. Right, only what I've read in the manual. Right, but so if I get any terminology wrong, right, please feel free to correct me in the comments, but don't hammer me by saying, oh, you screwed up, you got that terrible, it's not called. I'm telling you right now, I'm not an expert or semi-pro or frigging anything. I'm a complete and utter novice in this part of the RC model hobby. I ain't got a clue. However, I took her out for a spin earlier and I enjoyed it. I'll show that video at the end of this, right? Because I want to take you through a few things, give you a bit of information. Yeah, that's right, I don't know now, but I've still got some tips for you and some information. Right, so I'll zoom in on her so you can get a closer look, right? And I've got some stuff to tell you about the batteries and also about the canopy. Great suspension, by the way, very good. Right, so I'll zoom in so you can get a closer look. Talk you through it quickly, and I say quickly because, as I just said, I'm not an expert. Right, but I'll give you a few tips and a bit of information about some bits and pieces, and then show you the video. But all the links and the details and everything are in the description. Alrighty then, let's just zoom in. There you go then, pilots. I keep saying bloody pilots, I'm so used to it with everything else. But here you go then, RC model enthusiasts. There you go, that covers it. When I first took her out of the box, these tyres were beautiful. It was all nice and shiny, and the black was all shiny. But I give her a run in the field. Like I say, you'll see that at the end of the video. You can skip to it, but like I say, I've got a couple of tips that you might find useful. Right, the body first of all, so we can get... You have these little shell clips, I believe they're called. They come on all the cars. But this is the first thing I want to tell you. These bodies, right, they're not super strong, as in they're not going to stand up to really hard crashes and they're going to crack. So what I did, very first thing I did, was put a load of tape on the inside, and I used that fiberglass tape. I don't know if that'll show up on the camera, but you can use duct tape or out like that. Don't bother using normal sellotape, that'll be no good. But I use fiberglass tape, so now it should take a hell of a pounding without actually cracking. Even though I won't be doing anything spectacular to start with. I only got it today, yesterday I should say, got it yesterday, Saturday, today Sunday morning. But yeah, my brother's already said, oh, you want to build some ramps, you want this, you want that, and I'm thinking, give me a chance, bloody hell. But yeah, so put a load of tape on the inside, duct tape or whatever, just to reinforce the body. Right, that's something I'd recommend straight away, because I've seen a few of these cars and stuff on YouTube where the bodies get cracked and stuff, so that's what I recommend, even though probably other people do the same thing. Right, the actual car itself, first thing I'll tell you is it's surprising, it's got some bloody weight behind it. I wasn't expecting it. Like I say, all the links in the description to have a look yourself and everything, but yeah, it's got some weight. Right, it's waterproof, right, which don't mean you can chuck it in a swimming pool, but what I mean is you can drive it when it's just spitting with rain, and if you go through a puddle or whatever, that won't hurt. The suspension on it is really good, right? Really does bounce the suspension. Right, you've got 4 rear suspensions, 2 front suspensions. They're not hydraulic or out like that, they're just spring-loaded suspensions. Underneath, you may see better from the front there, I think they're called drive rods. Like I say, I'm not 100%, which connects up to the wheels. Right, they're all steel, and the steel on the back and everything, like I say, the drive gear or whatever it's bloody called. You've got metal all over the place. You've got 2 big chunks of metal here on the front and the back as a brace, right, for, I suppose, if you go over a curb or something like that, so it doesn't scratch up the plastic bodywork. Because this is plastic, but it's not cheap, thin, shitty plastic, excuse my French. It's like a reinforced plastic, and it is very, very tough. You have your off and on switch here, right, which you can get at really easy. You put your battery in and everything. I'll show you. Battery goes in there, and once you've got your canopy on, you can reach under and get at that off and on switch really easy. You don't have to like do it then connect everything up and waste a lot of time. But yeah, she's really strong. Oh, the tyres, if you see, are nice and foamy, because well, I would say foamy because they're filled with some type of foam. I don't know what it's called or anything like that. And the axles, if that's right as well, tell me in the comments. But you actually, on your transmitter, you have like on a helicopter really, you have dual rates. So when you turn what would you call it, your steering wheel on your transmitter, if you turn it all the way, you can set your dual weight so it only goes like that when it's completely all the way, or as far as you want it. But yeah, all this is reinforced and it's really well made. And you got a little bumper there, right, if you whip out like a wall solid or anything, or a tree. The back bumper is more solid, but I believe that's for picking it up, moving it around, carrying it and everything. Like I've seen, it's got a bit of give, so it's not gonna, when I say solid, I don't mean it's gonna crack if it hits something. It's got a bit of give, the back bumper, but it's more rigid so that you can pick it up to carry it, like I've seen a lot of other people on YouTube with the cars and stuff like that. This is your receiver, which if for any reason you're not happy with the transmitter and you want something with more power, more range, more this, more that, right, just a few screws, take the receiver out, put a new one in, right, swap your transmitter. I was looking at that on YouTube because if I'm right, this has got about 200-foot range, which is plenty, but for me, definitely for me, for a newbie like me. Right, but if you want to get more range, you just swap out your receiver and either get a compatible transmitter or whatever, but that's just something for the future. But yeah, so that's the main base really, and like I said, it's one of them things you have to see to believe and hold it to believe, because when I was looking at it, right, on the shop and stuff like that, I was thinking, yeah, it looks nice, it looks this, I don't know exactly how big it'll be. It says 1/10 scale, but apparently it's a little bit smaller than 1/10 scale, but there's not a lot in it. But it has some weight, and you can tell it's sturdy and strong. You know it's not going to snap straight away. There's 2 motors inside. Now, unfortunately, right, the brushed motors, which as we know, right, if you're a quad pilot or whatever, brushed motors aren't as good as brushless motors. However, with there being 2 in here, and it's not as if I'm going to be out with this every day for 3 or 4 hours a day, blasting it round or something like that. This is going to be more like a weekend thing, once a week or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm not giving up my quads or my planes or out like that. But this is just something else I like the look of. And, well, there you go. But yeah, 2 brushed motors. The specs say it'll run up to around about 28 miles an hour. but I don't know. That's like on a concrete road on a flat out. But when I had it on the field, I had it in low rates and I tried it in high rates. And at a guess on concrete in high rates, which I'll explain on the transmitter in a moment, I reckon you might get about 25 mile an hour out of it. Not like nearly 30, but still 25 mile an hour. I mean, believe me, for me, in low rates, I'll be leaving this thing in low rates for quite a while until I get used to it. I won't be bombing it because I don't want to be flipping it and smashing it. And I might have been able to stop this from getting cracked, but I don't want to get it all scratched up and everything. Right, battery. It comes with the old-fashioned Dean's connector on. Now, yeah, you can swap it out for an XT60, but there's not loads of room in there, to tell you the truth. And an XT60 is a little bit bulkier. And it does come with a battery, a 1600 milliamp, and it runs on 2S. It has a 60 amp ESC running in it. So I reckon you'd get away with 3S easy with a 60 amp ESC. But there again, because the motors are brushed, you don't want too much power in this. Right, if it was brushless motors, I'd say yeah, run frigging 2200 3-cell. But because the brushed motors, right, you don't want to be burning out the cogs. But yeah, like I say, it comes with 2-cell 1600 milliamp Lipo, and this has the XT60. This has the Dean's connector on. Some people call them T connectors because it looks like a letter T, but they're called Dean's connectors. But what? Each to your own. And like I say, I've already done a run with it. Nearly said flight. Already done a run with it. And the specs in the manual says 15 minutes run time. Well, I didn't time it until I'd gone back, watched the video, put it all together again, and I actually run this for about 15-16 minutes. But I run the battery dead. Never do that. I didn't do it on purpose, right? So never ever run your battery dead. Right, so this, I got about 15-16 minutes run time out of it. So from now on, I'm only going to have 10. I was lucky I managed to charge the battery up again, because running your battery completely flat is a big no-no. Knacker up your batteries and sometimes they won't even recharge. But yeah, so it will do the 15 minutes, but for safety, 10 minutes per battery. Now, seeing batteries, I'm just going to move this aside for 1 minute, because seeing batteries, these batteries were practically impossible for me to get my hands on. I could not find them anywhere. However, what I thought was, I got my FPV 1500 2-cells for my FPV goggles, right? And what I did was I bought a few of them while they was on offer, and all I've done is cut the plug that goes into your goggles off, and I happen to have a big box of Dean's connectors, right, from about, bloody hell, about 9 years ago, because everyone used to use Dean's connectors about 10 years ago, right? And then there was like the Bullets and the XT60s and stuff like that. But anyway, I ended up with a big box of Dean's connectors. So all I've done is cut the end that goes off into your goggles, and connected, not this one, this is actually one for my goggles, but connected some female Dean connectors on. Alright, so I picked up 3 or 4 of these just to make sure I've got plenty. Plus those on offer, they're cheap, they're very cheap. So check the links in the description, there's a link to them. Alright, and what I did was, when I put the heat shrink around, I split the heat shrink. Alright, so I just put a blob of hot glue. If anyone wonders why does that look a bit weird, it's just a blob of hot glue just to protect it, that's all. But yeah, so like I say, because them batteries are pretty hard to get at, so, and these are from Hobby King and cheap as chips. And if you've just got a little bit of soldering knowledge, just make sure your polarity is the right way. You might want to put XT60s on, it's completely up to you, your choice. Tools you get with it, you get minimum tools, you get a spanner to set your wheels on and off, right, which is straightforward and nothing complicated about that. I already took these off, give them a quick wipe down after yesterday, and you get some spare shell clips, the little canopy clips. And tool wise, that's it, that's all you got with it. You do get a battery charger and a socket. These are crap, right? These battery chargers are crap, where you just plug your balance lead in and that's it. To charge up that one of these 2-cell Lipos, right, will take 2 or 3 hours with this, unfortunately. They are really bad, really cheap and nasty chargers, right? So I'm not trying to be clever or funny, but I must have gone through, and I say gone through because this is going in the bin, I must have thrown about 9 of these bloody things away. They seem to come with everything you buy. If you get it with a charger, you get one of these nasty, nasty little things. And they're not safe, right? They're not brilliant, and it'll take you 2 or 3 hours to charge your bloody battery. If you're already into this hobby, you're already going to have a perfectly good working fine charger. If you're brand new into this hobby and you own nothing RC, you will have to use this until you get some sort of other charger. I will leave a link in the description just for a couple of cheap chargers which work pretty good. Okay, just in case you're brand new and you own nothing. But yeah, that's going in the bin. I'll keep the plug, but the charger's going in the bin. Nearly done. I'll just show you the instructions. I won't open every page, but the instructions are bloody good. They take you through everything, give you all different bits of information. And and you've got every little part. If you need a spare part or out like that, whether it be the wheels or anything, it not only gives you the name, it gives you the code, the pin number code. So if you just type the code in, right, I actually checked on the wheels thinking, oh, just get a spare just in case, and all they did was put the code number in, right, the reference number on eBay, and it came up. So, but yeah, so everything's there. Unfortunately, the batteries didn't. And what I do like at the back, they've got some, I don't know what you properly call them, I think they're called explosion photographs, where it shows you it as if it's exploded. So there's your dual motors, and you get a few pictures of that. So if you're going to start stripping it down for any reason, you can actually have a really close look and see what's what. So the instructions are pretty damn good actually. Right, we'll take you through the transmitter, right, which isn't complicated at all. You've got a wheel which goes left and right. You've got a trigger, you pull your trigger, you go forward. Push your trigger, you go backwards. If you're going forwards and you want to brake, you just push forward straight away real quick and you'll hit your brake. On the bottom here, it's your on and off power, right? If I press the button, turn it on, little red light comes on and flashes because I'm not bound to the actual receiver in the model, so turn that off again. You've got high and low rates, right, for like speed. Like I say, I've been running on the low rates. I did try the high rates, but I'm going to stay on the low rates because the low rates still whiz about pretty damn fast actually, right? And on this side you can reverse everything, so left goes right, right goes left, and all like that. I've just left mine up as normal. Right. You've got your trim settings, so that when you first run it in a straight line, if it's veering off to the left or veering off to the right, just like you would with a frigging aeroplane, you can just trim it there slightly. And the trims are pretty dead on balls accurate. I tested mine on the carpet and it looked good, and then I tested it again in the car park and it was spot on. And you've got your dual rates, which I've already mentioned for how far the wheels are going to turn. This transmitter, it works great and everything, but unlike the actual truck, which is super strong, super well made, real durable, this is a bit plasticky, a bit flimsy. It don't, you know what I mean? It does the trick, it just doesn't, it feels more like a kiddie's toy, if you know what I mean. which, okay, these are toys, but the big boys toys. But it still works, it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, and there's one last thing I want to show you, right, because some people will be saying, you know what you should do with that, George? You should stick a cat. I already made one, an FPV camera. Zoom in and take a little long way, take a closer look at that. Yeah, I've already made an FPV camera. Finally got to use the Runcam Split 2, one of them that's been stuck in the box for ages, because this is some, the Runcam Splits, right, I don't know about the Mini, right, but the Runcam Split and the Runcam Split 2, don't use them. Sooner or later they're going to fail, and you're going to smash up your model if you're lucky, or your model's going to be gone for good. Right, I've been flying along, images just freeze, and of course it's like looking at a photograph, so you ain't got a clue where you are. I had one on my aeroplane, on my Pandora Freewing. If you're a subscriber, you know what happened to that. The picture froze, smashed the plane to pieces. It's been a nightmare trying to get it back together again. It looks like that's no good. But for something like this, who cares if the picture freezes? It's on a car. The picture freezes, you stop, you know roughly where the car is. It's not as if it's going to be miles away. I got a Matex VTX on top, just a little whip antenna because I'm not going to be going miles out like that. And it's the MMCX connector, which, as you know, move about and stuff, and I've got nowhere to secure it, so I just put a blob of hot glue on there to secure it. So I'm able to do FPV plus record the image at the same time. I haven't put it on yet because I wanted to show you the canopy, because I'll be putting a big piece of Velcro on there. And we've got Velcro on there, and I'll just be Velcroing it on, making a little hole in the back window, so to speak, just to run that through there, so I can use, move that aside. I put a 2 cable on, power and red and black cable running from the VTX with an open JST, just so I can use the balance lead to power the camera, which I'll show you. I'll just plug it in and it works as simple as that. You can see all the lights flashing hopefully, and the camera is now recording. I don't know why I took the lens cap off. It's a habit, isn't it? Yeah, so the camera's recording, the VTX is working, I've checked it in my goggles and everything, and it's as simple as that. And what I'll be doing, just move back to the car again to show you how I'll be doing that. Do I have to zoom out? No. When the battery is in, I'll tell you what, I'll show you that one, because I can tuck that under there then. When the battery is in and the case is on, right, there's no way to connect anything in. So what I'm going to do is, in the case here, just using the Dremel, just Dremel out a little slot so I can actually have the balance lead just coming out like that. Not this cable will be tucked away, sorry. You know what I mean. It's just so the balance lead comes out like that. The FPV camera will be on top there, run through the back and plug straight into it. So yeah, that's how I'm going to run that. That just clips on. It's pretty good, you know what I mean? I say pretty good. It's nice and strong, and you push it in to lift it on and off or whatever. Right, so yeah, so I believe that's just about everything now. I'm sorry that this video's gone on for a long time, but just coming out a bit. Yeah, sorry the video's gone on for a long time, but I was trying to cover as much as I possibly could before showing you the flight. The flight, oh god, I'll tell you what, how long is this going to go on for? Start a frigging raffle. How long is it going to be before I have a car in front of me and I don't say flight? Okay then, pilots, ground crew and road warriors, let's show you the footage of my very first run with this car, right, with any car. So please, be nice, no nasty comments saying you're not a very good driver, are you? Okay then, let's get to the field. And I've had to cut that short because, as I said, I got 15 minutes, so there's a couple of jump shots in it. I've cut it short, and there's a little bit more information at the end of the video if you want to stick around. I'm sorry it's lasted so long, but it's a new product. I wanted to cover as much as I possibly can, just in case you're interested. Right then, let's go for some field footage. Run VT. Right then, let's give her a little maiden flight, so to speak. I've got it on low power. Alright, so let's try that for a bit. Low power's quite good. The grass is quite bad as well, a bit bumpy. See if it'll go over the goalpost. No. I guess that I either hit it too slow, or the goalpost thing is too high up for the bodywork. But all the clips are still there, so that's good news. Because the grass is a bit, there again, it is moving. Don't forget this is low rates. I'm enjoying this. I've never ever wanted an RC car. I always thought they were boring. Right, sorry all you RC car drivers, but I always thought, yeah, they're boring, they're boring, I don't want one. But then I saw some at Beverly Westwoods where I go flying, and I thought, well, actually that looks like fun. So the rest is history, as they say. By the way, it is fun. Yeah. Right, let's just switch to high rates. Whoa. She's off like a bat out of friggin' hell now on high rates. Very, very quiet as well. You can hardly hear it. Kicking up all the grass that's being cut, I know that much. See how good the brake is. That's pretty good braking. Whoops. too much forward power then at once. Right, too much forward power at this all at once. Pull the big chunks of grass out. Just check all the clips are still there. Yes. Right. Must remember to slow down as I'm turning. This grass is quite thick over here. And it's still struggling through it, no problems. To be honest, I really didn't think I'd be able to handle this remote control as well, because I'm using my left hand for the trigger, as in like the throttle, my right hand for the steering wheel. But let me just slow it down. As you can see, it's sort of like it's in a funny position. You're more used to the sticks when you fly RC models, right? And to have a wheel that you turn is so strange. And then you're pulling on your little trigger stick for the throttle. It all feels a bit weird, but it might feel weird, but I'm still managing. And I reckon after, I nearly said 6 or 7 flights then, after 6 or 7 flights I should have the hang of it. After 6 or 7 runs with her, she should feel a lot more comfy. Whoa! Right in the car park. And I said low rates because I don't want to flip up and scratch it. Tell you what, while we're on concrete, let me check out the trims. Check it's all trimmed out nice and level. I'd say that's spot on. I only trimmed it out on my carpet at home. But yeah, that went nice and straight. Remember, this is still the same battery. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this short soon because my brother and father will be back from his fish and chips, so I have to get home. So Keith, if you're watching, you're spoiling my fun. I have to get back. You should have gone to Bridlington for fish and chips, then you'd be even longer out. Right, that's at full throttle now in low rates. Show you that again. Full throttle in low rates, which is still pretty damn good. We crashed. I will not switch to high rates in here, right, because I don't want to flip it over, right, because it's new and I don't want it scratching. So I'm just have a couple more passes in these low rates. I'll tell you what, that's the battery dead. Right, that's the battery dead, so now we can know how long the battery lasts. Just a quick tip, pilots, I'm going to have to change it now. I usually say hello pilots and ground crew, I'll have to change that because it's cars. But yeah, just a quick little tip, never run your batteries all the way down like I just did. Right, but I've got quite a few of them 2 cells, but that's not the point, because that battery now may not charge up again. It could be dead forever, but there's always a chance of it charging up. Right, but at least now I'll be able to watch the video back because I didn't time it, and able to get a perfect idea of how long the batteries are going to last. But I would hazard a guess that that was a good, well, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm just taking the body off while talking to get the battery out. Yeah, I would say that was about a good 10 minutes. So, let's see, the battery, it's just sort of like standard warm, like it would be on a quad. Nothing too hot. Sorry, I'm just putting that, I just need to unplug the Lipo. But yeah, the Lipo is just sort of like standard warm, nothing burning hot or out like that. So yeah, I'll see if she'll charge up again, which she should really, you know what I mean. But we'll work it out on the time and I'll put up, but they say about 10 minutes, I reckon that was about 10 minutes. But if that was 10 minutes, I'd recommend only about 8 minutes of 8 minutes of flying time, oh god, 8 minutes of driving time. Right, but no, I'm pretty happy, pretty impressed and pretty shocked. Sorry, I've got the camera on my hat still, so yeah, I'm pretty happy, pretty impressed, and shocked that I would ever get an RC model car. But anyhow then, pilots and ground crew, pilots, and you see, how long is this going to go on for? Pilots, what do you mean? I'll be this will go on for a while, this will. Anyhow, pilots and ground crew and drivers, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. Okay then, cheers.